Welcome back everyone. Hello there if it's your first time watching. Today we have, well, I guess you could call it a continuation of the previous video, Curveballs. Last time we did the top 10, now we're doing the bottom 10, the 10 worst I guess. We really need a better name for that. Anyways, same deal as before and always. I've got the pleasure today of presenting you with the 10 worst curveballs in the game, in terms of how they suck, waste our time, resources, sanity. I'll explain why I've left them in that order, and if there's anything we can do to make living with the curveballs a little bit easier. We all know what a top 10 video is, I'm sure. So, let's get into it. No more stalling, and see what the number 10 spot is. Number 10, missing a few bolts. This one's technically bad, but with a bit of common sense, it's really just kind of pointless. With this curveball we receive lower community morale, higher base noise, and less return for crafting things like painkillers, snacks, and explosives. In order to end this curveball, we'll need to deposit 3 new materials rucksacks to our base. And no, you can't cheese this curveball by dragging and re-dragging materials you already have out of your storage. 3 materials rucksacks are not that hard to get your hands on. The amount of storage sheds, building sites, and tool shops all over the map that has them is huge. It's not like you're sacrificing the materials anyway, you still get to use them, so it's no big deal. Lower morale? Does it really matter? I mean, short term yes, but long term probably not, no. The absolute worst thing that can happen is that in that time somebody could threaten to leave. Threaten to leave. And crafting things is more expensive. Well, I've got a genius game-breaking solution for you. Until the curveball is over, don't craft anything. Absolutely genius. I mean, who would have thought of that? Unless you absolutely have to. Say you desperately need meds or plague cure or something. But even then, I don't think they made crafting plague cure more expensive with this because that would be wrong. We're not villains here at Undead Labs. Anyway, it's a bad curveball. But with the right planning, it's not nearly as bad as you would think. Number 9, strange mutations. Zombies are more resistant to melee attacks, fighting them will drain more stamina, and sometimes the zombies will get back up, even when you've killed them already. Ergo, we'll now have to deal with headless zombies. Fun. This curveball will go away after some time, and it can get pretty annoying fighting zombies in the field that just won't fall. But there is a solution. You know the graffiti that's on some of the walls and buildings throughout the maps saying, "Bullets are the only cure"? Well, they might have been onto something with this curveball because once you have a gun in your hands, this curveball becomes easy mode. Resistant to melee? Sure. But are they resistant to a bullet to the face? And if they get back up? We won't have to worry about the stamina drain for being close to them either because we won't be close to them. Like the number 10 spot, this curveball can be annoying and a bit of an inconvenience. But with some careful planning, it's really not so bad. Number 8, elevated senses. Super zombies with better sight, smell, and hearing. Good luck trying to hide from these things. So don't. Take them head on. 50v1 doesn't matter. You're the GOAT. You've got this. If you're a stealth build, sucks to suck. But if you don't mind a couple of extra zombies joining the battle, then this curveball really isn't that bad. Good luck trying to keep the AI safe though. Number 7, out for blood. Zombies in the area are very fast, more resistant to melee, and will chase us for a longer time. We must beat the plague cart that's causing it to end it. Now if this catches us at the wrong time in our playthrough, say we're really weak, out of resources, then this can get pretty bad. That area is basically a write-off until we get strong and brave enough. But this curveball can be quickly beaten. Literally. If we have a quick, destructive character who goes in and decimates the plague cart, then we've got nothing to worry about. I have to say though, it is pretty scary, watching zombies literally spawn in, running at you. Number 6, thick-skinned, literally just a better strange mutations, or worse in our case I guess. Zombies are resistant to melee, fire, and headshots. That's pretty worrying. They do massive damage to vehicles too. Melee's a problem, ranged is a problem, explosives, too expensive. Best option is to either ignore the zombies for the time being, or stealth your way around the map. Or just fight them, but it's going to get pretty annoying when every zombie's going to feel like a juggernaut. And don't even get me started on the juggernauts. This curveball is pretty bad, because it halts your whole gameplay for the time being. But there are still worse curveballs out there. Number 5, radio silence. This is where we get into the extremely annoying curveballs. With radio silence, we can't use the radio. Kind of obvious, but there you are. We receive less influence for killing zombies and completing missions, and you need to secure a damaged cell tower marked on the map to get rid of it. Now because the radio is such a vital part of your playthrough, this becomes a huge problem. It slows down how fast we can make resources, allies, call in supply drops, traders, red talent soldiers, everything really. Less influence for completing quests and killing zombies is a bit more minor, but you will notice it over time. And the objective we have, to secure the tower, can be very hard to complete because it could be deep in plague territory, requiring us to destroy all plague carts around it just to complete one curveball. This event sucks. The only redeeming factor, and what keeps it at number 5, is the fact that the tower can often spawn in areas that we have already secured on the map, meaning we literally have to just drive over to it for the curveball to end. Not so bad, eh? If we don't get so lucky enough though, we're in for a bad time. Number 4, under the weather. Simplest way to explain this one is that our characters now suck. More technical explanation would be that we get lower efficiency from first aid and energy consumables, faster fatigue and stamina drain, worse firearm handling, and a higher chance to cause a search crash when looting buildings. Quite an extensive list, and in order to get better, we need to get 3 new bags of the meds resource. Now you might be thinking to yourself, oh, that's pretty bad, so like I just need to use 1 painkiller instead of 2? Wrong answer, buddy. More like 12. Seriously, it's awful. So, in short, you can't fight, run for as long, and you get tired like that. Things aren't going well. It's a bad curveball to say the least. Meds are also not the easiest resource to come across, so it could take some time to muster up 3 bags. You may be saying to yourself though, why is this curveball only number 4? Surely there aren't 3 other curveballs worse than that. Well, I think there are. Don't get me wrong, this one is bad. Really bad. But as long as you still play a bit more passively and from a distance, you should be okay. Still a horrible curveball though. And now we're into the top 3, third place being Vicious Rumours. With this one we get a worse return for buying and selling, higher radio costs and reduced influence for performing actions such as killing zombies and completing quests. Oofed. That is rough. Our influence will start to run dry and everything we do spend on it will feel like a knife plunging straight into our funding. And because we don't have any objective to get rid of and speed up the process, we're stuck like this for quite a long time. It hinders our ability to improve, to upgrade, to advance. It's really simple what it does, but what it does is so frustrating, and that's why it makes the number 3 spot. Number 2, Bangernomics. Fuel consumption on vehicles is increased, the cars can no longer brake, and it takes them ages to start up. You lose control of the car basically. Cars are one of the most useful things in the entire game. Transport, storage, attack, they've got all sorts of uses. And this curveball basically means we can't use them for a long period of time. Absolutely devastating. Not much more explanation I can think of for this one. We basically lose access to half our options. Not good. And a very fitting number 2. And now we're finally at number 1, and should be no surprise that the worst curveball in the entire game has been given to the Black Heart. If you've not ever had the displeasure of encountering this play cart, then count yourself lucky, because you don't ever want to. I made a whole video on the terrors of this curveball alone, so you know it sucks. Check it out if you haven't already. First of all, the zombies surrounding the play cart are faster, stronger, and more aggressive. On top of that, you've now got to deal with something called Plague Miasma, basically a harmful airborne plague defense that damages you and your allies when even just being in the play cart zone. It's slow damaging, but you can't prevent it in any way. And that's another thing, the zone. Every day the curveball goes on, it seems to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it takes up about a quarter of the map. And that area of the map is now pretty much a dead man's land. Good luck trying to traverse it on foot, and even more luck trying to drive through it. I mean, check out how fast it drained the fuel in that car. Only a couple of seconds. Nearly a full fuel tank gone. Just like that. And as you can probably imagine, in order to get rid of this curveball, you have to get rid of the play cart whatever way you can. Now you might think it's only slightly more durable than a normal play cart, maybe double at the absolute most, right? No. Triple? No. 4 times then. 5 times? Dear God. I won't spoil how strong it actually is. That's a horrifying experience you'll have to witness for yourself, or by watching the Black Playcart video. But yeah, it is no joke. It won't just halt your plans, it may even set you and your community back a little bit, throwing both time and resources at the problem. Maybe you disagree with me, but I think there's nothing more deserving of the number 1 spot for the worst curveball you could possibly get in State of Decay 2. And so there we have it folks, the 10 worst curveballs you could ever have the pain of getting in State of Decay 2, and how to defeat them, most of them. I hope you never have to experience some of them. Definitely interesting though, makes the game a little bit more exciting. As always, I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Any curveballs I've missed, any solutions or quick fixes to the harder curveballs? Let me know, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.